PHOTO Marcus Brimage bottom falls during his bantamweight fight against Cody Garbrandt at the MGM Grand Garden Arena on January 3, 2015 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Garbrandt won by TKO in the third round. Steve Marcus PNG Cody Garbrandt's plan is pretty straightforward and involves only two steps. Step 1: smash TJ Dillashaw next weekend at UFC 217 at Madison Square Garden. Step 2: call the shots and collect all the money. As far as the 26-year-old bantamweight champion is concerned, dispatching Dillashaw would mean he's cleaned out the 135-pound ranks, and if he does that, he should have his choice of opponents. With a win over TJ, I've wiped out the division, Garbrandt said during Wednesday's UFC 217 media conference call. There's a big gap. It goes myself, then Dominic Cruz, then TJ, and it falls off from there. Neither of those guys are money fights for me either way, he said in regards to Cruz and his upcoming opponent Jimmy Rivera when asked about potentially facing the winner. First and foremost, I'm focused on TJ, but this is a gimme fight too. This is a fight for me that I'm going to end this dude, and I can pick my fights from after that. I'm going to go down and fight Mighty Mouse at 125. Anybody that I fight, I'm the draw in the lighter weight divisions 25-35, I'm the draw against anybody, Garbrandt added. Whoever my next adversary is after TJ, I'm the draw, so they're going to tune in and watch me fight whoever I fight. Some of this is Conor McGregor's fault. Some of it is just crazy talk wrapped up in ambition and extreme confidence. All of it makes for a lot of bad juju being put into the world before Garbrandt has even defended the bantamweight title he won from Cruz last December for the first time since McGregor started cashing heavyweight paychecks and chasing titles in multiple divisions. Several champions have erroneously come to think that the same opportunities apply to them. After all, they've got a belt just like McGregor and want to take over the world as well. What adds to Garbrandt's belief that he can beat Dillashaw, which is far from a foregone conclusion, and then name his opponent, and watch the money roll in, is that the UFC has been pushing both he and Dillashaw as the type of stern test Johnson needs to conquer in order to cement his standing as an all-time great. Apparently some people still aren't convinced despite the 13 consecutive victories, 5-year title reign and 11 consecutive successful title defenses. But where Garbrandt is most off base in this 2-step plan to take over the world is his assertion that beating Dillashaw would mean he's cleaned out the division. Going back-to-back against Cruz and Dillashaw would be a tremendous accomplishment and put the team alpha male standout on a path toward potentially being considered the best bantamweight in UFC history. The division has only been around for 7 years come December, but he'd still have plenty of work to do before anyone would argue the 135-pound ranks had been cleaned out. Cruz still lingers as the current best fighter in the history of the division and a former champion, and Rivera would merit a title shot if he were to push his winning streak to 21 by beating the Dominator in December. Aljamain Sterling is on the come-up, Rafael Assunção is criminally underrated and always in the mix, and any of the other fighters currently residing in the top 15 could strengthen their chances with a couple of quality victories over the next 6 to 9 months. And Garbrandt still needs to get through Dillashaw first. While I appreciate that no love is setting his sights high and grabbing the future superstar title that has been bestowed upon him with both hands, it feels like he's putting the cart before the horse here with all this I'm the draw in the lighter weight classes talk. The talented finisher has headlined a single event through his first 7 UFC appearances, and he was the B-side heading into that pairing. Though he looked outstanding in taking the title off Cruz at UFC 207, the primary focus of that event was the return of Ronda Rousey, just as next weekend's grudge match with Dillashaw exists in the shadows of Georges St. Pierre's return against Michael Bisping. Garbrandt has the potential to be a star. He's a dynamic fighter in the cage and a good-looking, polarizing personality outside of it. He cleans up well and is ready to happily embrace the pressures and responsibilities that come with being a potential cornerstone for the company, but he's got to get there first, and something about the way he spoke about his future plans and elite standing on the roster Wednesday sounded like the bantamweight champion believes he's already made it. Maybe he gets there, maybe he rolls through Dillashaw with relative ease, drops to flyweight to face Johnson and all his plans and proclamations come true. Or maybe he ends up taking the Anthony Pettis route, stumbling just when everyone thought he was poised to rocket into the stratosphere and become a foundational star for the UFC to build its business around. Now if y'all will excuse me, I suddenly have a hankering for some Wheaties. Spencer Kite covers MMA for Post Media News and the Sporting News. Follow him on social media at Spencer Kite. Click here to report a typo. Is there more to this story? We'd like to hear from you about this, or any other stories you think we should know about. Email vantips@postmedia.com. Less than P.